Got to have the horse hair in it.
The regular gloves that are approved by the contract doesn't take any difference to the boxing.
The contract says gloves that are approved by the British Boxing Control.
Those gloves are approved.
That's what it says.
The gloves are approved by the British Boxing Control. You should have been here. They're done. They're done. These are your number ones. All right?
This is not okay. It's not okay. We specified all the way through that we don't want horses.
They haven't involved the Boxing Board of Control. And the Boxing Board of Control are the people who approve the gloves.
At the final press conference, Chris Eubank Jr. didn't waste words. He sat down knowing exactly what he came to say. With all eyes on him, he made it clear a lifetime of clean, relentless work has led to this moment. No shortcuts, no excuses, just raw will and experience. And on fight night, he's coming to take out Conor Benn. Eubank Jr. further doubled down, brushing off the weight debate that had surrounded the fight buildup. He stated, "This fight isn't about size or weight, it's about skill and dedication. It's about expertise and all of those areas I excel in. I have many years of experience over Conor Benn, and that will be the deciding factor on the night." That experience, he said, wasn't just a number, it was the edge. He's not just showing up for a brawl, he's bringing years of craft into the ring. And while Benn is still learning the ropes, Eubank Jr. believes he's mastered the game. With calm confidence, he made the next point sound almost like a warning. He stated, "I'm a complete fighter. I've been doing this for so long now, I've forgotten more things than he even knows, and that will show on the night." The statement hung heavy. This wasn't hype. It was a seasoned pro sizing up the moment. He wasn't rattled, wasn't trying to convince anyone. He was stating facts. Everything from his body language to his tone said he was in full control. Then he added a final touch, sharp, poetic, and just a bit brutal. He stated, "The procedure will be parliamentary. Everything will go the way I want it to go. I will be like a matador in the ring, and Conor Benn will be the bull." With that, the message was clear. Eubank Jr. isn't coming to fight on Benn's terms. He's coming to dominate, to control every second, every movement. The crowd may see a war, but in his mind, it'll be a lesson. Calculated, precise, and Conor Benn, just another name on the list. Fight night's not just a battle, it's Eubank's stage. As Eubank Jr. painted a picture of control and experience, Conor Benn responded with passion and hunger. He didn't come to play mind games, he came to remind everyone why he's in this fight in the first place.
I mean, listen, this is what I do. I love this game. This is what I live for. You know, this is every fighter's dream when they turn professional to live this life. You know, there was no more pressure than a 19-year-old kid with no amateur experience walking out to a packed O2 arena. That's pressure. You know, I've been doing this for 10 years and you know, I'm more than prepared, more than ready. You know, I wish it was Saturday night tonight.
Benn spoke from the heart, raw and unfiltered. There was no script, just a fighter who's lived and breathed the sport since day one. He made it clear that pressure isn't new to him. It's part of his story. 10 years in the game, battle-tested, and burning with the same fire that got him here. For Benn, Saturday night can't come soon enough. And in his voice, you could hear it. He's not just ready, he's craving it. While Benn spoke with fire and confidence, Eubank Jr. wasn't buying it. He fired back with a sharp personal shot, one that cut deeper than just boxing.
You know, Conor speaks about pressure and dealing with it, but you know, there's a reason why he had his training camp in Spain. You know, the kid had to flee his own country to prepare for this fight. He knew that he couldn't handle the pressure of, you know, walking these UK streets and having people shouting out drug cheat and egg jokes. He didn't want to be involved in any of that. So he took himself away, he hid away, and you know, now he's back, and now he thinks he can use me to kind of get back into the good graces. You know, I haven't fled, I haven't hid away from anything. I've been in these streets. I've been to gyms all over London over the last 2 months. I've been and spoke to kids. I've done all the media obligations I've needed to do around the country. I've felt the energy on the streets of the UK over these last 2 months, and it's real. You know, people are invested in this. You know, everywhere I go, people are screaming, and most of the time it's positive, which it's a new thing for me. I'm still getting used to that, but you know, I am happy with the place I am at mentally. I don't think Conor can say the same thing. I think he's feeling the pressure and the heat I think he's feeling that, and he's going to feel a hell of a lot more in a couple days' time.
Eubank questioned Benn's mental strength, pointing to his decision to train abroad as a sign he couldn't handle the pressure at home. For Eubank, staying grounded in the UK wasn't just about routine, it was about facing the noise head on. He's walked through gyms, met fans, taken the heat, and embraced it all. According to him, that's the real test of pressure. Not just the fight, but everything around it. And in his eyes, Benn hasn't passed that test yet. After Eubank Jr. called him out for fleeing pressure, Conor Benn didn't stay silent. He addressed the controversy head on, offering his side of the story. For him, this wasn't just about defending a record, it was about defending his name. He stated, "It's probably a faulty test. I thought, we'll get to the bottom of it. We're still trying to do that. We're making progress." Benn didn't shy away from what's followed him since the failed test headlines. Instead, he stood firm, claiming the results never added up and insisting there's more to uncover. He painted a picture of a fighter stuck in the middle of something bigger than boxing, not just trying to win a bout, but trying to clear his name in front of the world. To him, the fight outside the ring has been just as real. He continued, turning the focus to the facts he says have been overlooked. With frustration in his voice, Benn highlighted the tests he did pass and the consistency he's shown over his career. He stated, "But the way it's been blown up has affected me so much. My innocence will be proven. It has to be. I passed all my UCAD, UK anti-doping tests, which people aren't talking about." He further added, "I've passed all my tests in and out of camp. I've been a professional for 7 years and never failed a test." This wasn't just about clearing up a moment, it was about reclaiming his reputation. He's not asking for sympathy, just for a fair look at the full picture. Benn wants the spotlight back on his discipline, his grind, his years of clean work. In his words, there's still hurt, but also defiance. And with the fight around the corner, he's carrying that weight into the ring. Despite all the noise, Conor Benn made one thing clear. He's not letting the pressure get to him. With fight night just days away, his focus is locked in.
Conor, what's on your manifesto of what happens? And in response to Chris, are you feeling the pressure?
No pressure. You know, I live for this. I've had the fight over 100 times in my head. You know, for me, it's just focusing on the training, you know, removing myself from my comfort zones, my familiarities, my family, and, you know, fully dialing in. You know, I'm not going to lower myself to Chris and go back and forth and, you know, all that PR's done. I'm excited to get in there and put my hands on him Saturday night, irrelevant of all the rubbish he wants to talk and you know, names and, you know, we're not at school, and come Saturday night I get to put my hands on him.
Benn spoke with calm intensity, saying he's already played out the fight in his mind 100 times. For him, the build-up, the back and forth, the headlines, it's all background noise now. He's removed himself from distractions, from his comfort zone, and fully committed to the task ahead. There was no interest in more trash talk or posturing. He's done with the talk. Now he's ready to let his fists do it for him. Just when things seemed to settle, the tension exploded again, this time with both fighters face to face, trading barbs and personal digs. The mood shifted fast, and what started as jokes quickly turned heated.
You will be at school on Saturday, my friend. I'm taking you back to school.
Well done you.
At school, I'm going to be the headmaster, my friend.
Yeah.
And you will be in detention.
You are funny, Chris. You made me laugh. Just focus on getting away off, fat boy.
Weight. What's weight? Weight is, everyone always talking about this weight thing. You know, yeah, the weight is painful.
Yeah, good.
I'm in pain right now. I'll be in even more pain tonight and tomorrow morning.
And the worst pain you've ever experienced comes Saturday night, I promise you that right now.
You know, the question I ask myself is, what is pain?
Oh, shut up.
No, I'm serious. What is it?
Oh, shut up.
What is it? You know?
Eubank Jr. kicked things off with a mocking tone, painting himself as the teacher and Benn as the schoolboy. It was classic Eubank, calm, cocky, and calculated. But Benn didn't find it funny. He fired back, calling out the weight cut and brushing off the sarcasm. Then his tone dropped and the energy shifted. Gone was the laugh. He looked Eubank dead in the eyes and promised pain like he's never felt before. What followed was no longer entertainment. It was a warning. Saturday night, the talking ends. After Benn mocked Eubank Jr. over the weight cut, suggesting he was struggling, Chris responded in a way no one expected. He dropped the jokes and stripped things back to something real.
I have I have a 31-year-old brother. He's buried in the desert in Dubai. That's pain.
Eubank spoke about pain, but not the kind that comes from making weight or physical sacrifice. He opened up about personal losses, deep emotional scars that went far beyond the sport. In that moment, the room fell quiet. There was no bravado, just raw honesty. He made it clear that compared to what he's endured in life, weight cuts and rehydration clauses mean nothing. His message wasn't just to Ben, it was to everyone watching. He's already lived through real pain, and that's what fuels him now. Eubank Jr. didn't stop there. He kept pushing, making it clear that everything about this rematch feels different.
We're not doing the percentages anymore. That was for the first time around before Conor got caught cheating. Now it's about, preparing to get this kid out of boxing. We're not taking him lightly anymore. He should have taken the chance he had in that first fight. When I was underestimating, when I was, playing, when I was taking him lightly, that was his best shot. And now it's gone, because now I have a duty to boxing, to the public, to the fans who he's lied to, who Eddie Hearn's lied to for the last 2-3 years. I have a duty to erase these guys from the picture.
This time, it's not about showmanship or percentages. It's about making a statement. Eubank claimed Ben had his chance the first time when he wasn't being taken seriously, but that window is closed. Now, Eubank says he's coming with purpose, not just to win, but to make an example. He called it a duty to the sport, to the fans, and to everyone who's followed the controversy. In his eyes, Ben's no longer just an opponent. He's a problem that needs to be erased. As the press conference grew more intense, the conversation took a new turn. A question came up regarding Conor Benn's request for Billy Joe Saunders to inspect Eubank Jr. hand wraps. The response was quick and blunt.
Conor, the Ring magazine reported in the last couple of hours that you have requested for Billy Joe Saunders to inspect the wraps of Chris Eubank Jr. on Saturday night. Is that true?
Don't all the surprises, Jamie.
Well, the Ring magazine reported it before.
Maybe not.
What do you make of that, Chris?
It's irrelevant. Hand wraps is not going to save Conor Benn from the kicking he's about to receive.
Ooh, scary. Ooh.
Conor's answer was vague, leaving the door open for more speculation, but it was clear he wasn't letting it slide. Eubank Jr. didn't take kindly to the suggestion, brushing off the talk of hand wraps entirely. In his eyes, it wouldn't matter what was checked or what was inspected. Ben was still going to face the beating of his life. Conor, however, shot back sarcastically, his voice dripping with mockery. The tension was palpable as the two stared each other down. The heat between the fighters only escalated as the press conference went on. Conor Benn, visibly emotional, spoke about what this fight truly meant to him.
Listen, it's always personal. I'm a very emotional fighter. I fight with my heart on my sleeve, and it's the way I've been my whole career. It's the only way I know. So for me, he is another man. Yes, his name is Eubank, and I won't be losing to a fighter whose name's Eubank, especially not this man.
Ben revealed that for him, boxing is always personal. He's not just fighting with his fists, but with everything he has. He made it clear that the fight against Eubank Jr. goes beyond just the sport. It's about proving something deeper. For Ben, beating a fighter with the Eubank name is more than just a win, it's a point of pride. His resolve was crystal clear. He wasn't about to let this chance slip away. As the conversation grew more intense, Chris Eubank Jr. stepped in with a calm but confident response. He wasn't concerned about what others thought. He knew the real test would come in the ring.
Oh, I don't. But that's the beautiful thing about this sport. That doesn't matter what you believe. All that matters is what actually happens once that bell goes, and nobody knows what's going to happen until it happens. What I do know is whatever strategy, whatever game plan these people have come up with, nothing will prepare them for the fire that they're going to receive in a couple of days' time.
Eubank Jr. reminded everyone that in boxing, nothing is certain until that bell rings. All the talk, all the strategies, none of it matters until the fighters face off. He wasn't interested in speculating about Benn's plans or beliefs. What mattered was what happened when the fight began. With a confident grin, he stated that no game plan would be enough to prepare Benn and his team for the fire he was bringing. It was clear, Eubank Jr. was ready to deliver the pain, and he believed nothing would stop him. With the stakes higher than ever, Chris Eubank Jr. was asked how he plans to defeat Conor Benn. His answer was simple, yet full of conviction.
How do I beat Conor Benn? Any way I want to. You know, it's not about strength and speed and age and weight, all the things that you guys love to talk about. It's about dedication. It's about paying who's paid their dues and who's done it clean, who's dedicated their life, who's real and who's fake. And I believe all of those categories are in my favor.
For Eubank Jr., it wasn't about the usual talk of strength, speed, or weight differences. He dismissed those factors, saying it wasn't about what people love to discuss. Instead, he focused on the essence of his journey: dedication, sacrifice, and staying true to the sport. Eubank Jr. believes he's paid his dues, done it clean, and stayed authentic throughout his career. He's confident that when it comes down to the real qualities that matter, everything falls in his favor. For him, it's about being real, something he doesn't believe Benn can claim. Conor Benn, still fired up, wasted no time in making his intentions clear. He wasn't here for anything less than domination. Benn said without hesitation. His words were blunt and unflinching. He's coming to take Eubank Jr.'s head off. No dancing around the point. This fight is personal for him, and he plans to end it with power. His message was simple. He's not intimidated, and he's not backing down. Benn isn't here to play. He's here to fight, to take control, and to make sure everyone knows who's the boss come fight night. His confidence was evident, and it's clear he's more than ready for what's to come. Even Conor Benn's father, Nigel Benn, stepped in with his own bold predictions. He wasn't just supporting his son, he was making a statement about what was to come.
And you know what it is? I am so confident this don't go past 4 rounds. I know my son. Back him all the way, all the way. And Conor's not a 12-round fighter. He's an old school fighter that can do 15 rounds. But you're going to see him, mate, the power that he's got. No one ain't seen him for the last 2 years. Oh my gosh. You lot are in for a treat. Mark my word. You are in for a big, big treat.
Nigel was confident, saying he believed the fight wouldn't even go past 4 rounds. He stood by his son's strength, saying that Conor wasn't a 12-round fighter. He was old school, capable of going the distance and packing the kind of power that could end things quickly. Nigel promised fans a show, claiming no one had seen the true power Conor possessed in the last 2 years. His confidence was unwavering, and he promised the audience they were in for a treat they wouldn't forget. Nigel Benn wasn't done yet. He shared some behind-the-scenes insight into Conor's recent sparring sessions, painting a picture of the fierce preparation his son had undergone.
Do you know what? I watched him. You know the saying goes, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But what happens in Mallorca, I'm telling. I am telling. And I'll tell you about Conor's sparring, and God is my witness. First he started sparring with Nigel Benn, super middleweight, but really at light heavy. Had his hands full with Conor. I mean, Conor was just going through it, 10 rounds, done it easy. Then he was sparring with a guy that knocked out Munguia, Bruno, I can't remember his last name, Ceres, been sparring with him, another light heavy. Conor was bullying him around. And then to put the cherry on top, he started sparring with a guy called William Skull, an IBF champion, who's fighting a week after Conor. Coming there 12-handed, shouldn't say it, but you know what, because for the last 2 years, all I've been here negative, I'm going to tell you about my son.
He talked about Conor's sparring with top-tier fighters, including super middleweight Denzel Bentley, a light heavyweight, and others with impressive records. According to Nigel, Conor wasn't just holding his own, he was dominating. He went through rounds easily, bullying opponents in the ring, including a former world champion. Nigel didn't hold back, using these experiences to show that his son's preparation has been nothing short of exceptional. He emphasized that despite the negativity surrounding them, Conor's strength and skill are undeniable. Nigel Benn continued to highlight Conor's incredible performance in sparring, breaking down a specific session that stood out as a testament to his son's resilience and power.
The first 4 rounds, him and Conor were even Stevens, and they were going, oh, perfecto, 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 every time he was hitting Conor. Conor was just walking him down. Then I found that round, I think 5, he was like, no, because Conor only has 40 seconds rest. And then what he was doing in between the middle of the rounds, he was sitting on the rope because he was tired. Then it came to round 5, 6, 7, started feeling the pace. This is William Skull, IBF champion.
Superstar.
And then after that, no, you can't shut me up, mate, because you ain't been where I've been, mate. Behave yourself. But anyway, but then what happened? Round 8 came.
He shared the details of a sparring session with IBF champion William Skull, revealing how the first few rounds were evenly matched. However, by round 5, Skull started to show signs of fatigue, needing rest between rounds. Despite the tiredness, Conor kept pushing forward, walking through punches and never backing down. According to Nigel, the real difference came as the rounds progressed. Conor's pace didn't drop. It was a clear example of his conditioning and mental toughness. Nigel's pride in his son was clear. Conor's not just a fighter, he's a force to be reckoned with. Nigel Benn wasn't finished sharing his son's impressive journey. He took us deeper into Conor's sparring with IBF champion William Skull, revealing a shocking moment that left both him and trainer Tony stunned.
And then, Tony, we looked at each other and we thought, he just quit. He just stopped. Couldn't take no more. After 8 rounds, I meant to be doing 10 rounds. And me and Tony looked at each other and think, what the friggin' hell just happened there? And I got my boy and I thought, my little boy. He just damaged the IBF world champion.
As we look ahead to this much anticipated fight, who will emerge victorious when the bell rings? Will it be Eubank Jr.'s experience and controlled aggression, or Benn's relentless drive and power? Can Conor Benn truly back up his bold words? Or will Eubank's mental fortitude be too much to handle? What do you think about the final press conference and the build-up to this fight? Who are you backing to win and why? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tune in for more videos like this.